Welcome to Studio 7, everyone. Matt Beauvais.
Autumn Lewandowski.
It was like, bang. It was like, right there. Introduce yourself. Already a couple comments here as we get started on this Monday. Mondays, I know, normally not the greatest thing, but when the Bills win, it seems like people have a boost with their mood. A couple people commenting Victory Monday. Yes, it is. Jacqueline, thanks for joining us. Happy Victory Monday. Peter, also happy Victory Monday. Cheryl, let's go Buffalo. It was a great weekend for football. It was perfect weather. The Bills get a win. Thought it was pretty cool. My sister is in town. She came with her fiance. Her fiance is from Binghamton. He had never been to a Bills game before. Yesterday was his first Bills game. They went, and they kind of got the perfect day for it.
Was it not? I was telling everybody that was
legit. It was
was
awesome.
going. It might have been a little bit warm for some people, thinking you know what's perfect football weather.
Yeah,
but I mean, you can't complain about 65 and sunny.
No, and I know a lot of Bills fans, if they were watching the game yesterday, the first half did not go according to plan, but they were able to figure things out. I mean, Jim is commenting here, we need more of Cook. I thought that he had a fine day. I think that they figured things out in the second half. That is a very good sign for the Bills. At the end of the day, they are 5-2, and that's what is most important. What'd you do for the game yesterday?
You know, it was such a nice day that we went kind of all over town looking at the leaves and whatnot. So we ended up back home for like the stink part of
the bad part of the game. Yeah, the bad part of the game.
when it was bad, kind of leading to halftime, and we had it on in the background, which is my most favorite way of watching a game because I don't have to pay too much attention to it, so I don't have to worry and you know, yell at the TV. And then once it came back from halftime and we were in and out of the house kind of doing festive fall kind of things for the outside, and it started getting better. I'm like, okay, whew, we're good.
Yeah. What are fall things? What qualifies as fall things? What do you guys do?
Things. So around the house, it's just kind of getting everything that was outside for summer, get that ready to not be outside for winter. I got some corn stalks that I was able to put
look
up.
At you. That's fancy.
It's my favorite thing to do is to kind of decorate.
We decorate like the porch, and we have a nice little setup with. I am very much a fall theme person, not like a very scary themed person. Like I know I drive down the road and I saw those people with got like the 8-foot skeletons and all that stuff. To me, that is not my style, but also like shout out to you if you're somebody who's like really into Halloween. I just never have been, so I'm more fall-y, I guess, like you. It sounds like are also.
Yes, well, because with Natalia being 5, nothing's really scary. However, she is more of a scary person than I am. Like she likes the creepy things.
Really?
And,
she even at 5.
Really, yes. She wanted to watch Five Nights at Freddy's.
I don't know what that is. It sounds like a scary movie, obviously.
Number one, it's not a kid's movie. So we did not watch it, but she thought like, oh, they're big, scary bears. Like, this is fun. Like if I saw that picture, when even at my age now, I would not want to click on it to watch it. And here she is wanting to watch scary movies.
I'm not a scary guy. I don't love scary movies, but I can tell you the one thing that would give me the heebie-jeebies more than anything is be one of those haunted houses. There's enough money. I don't want to say there's not enough money in the world that would get me into a haunted house because I could probably be bought for pretty much anything. But those haunted houses, to me, that's like a hard pass. I do not understand how people enjoy those. That to me would be torture. I would never, ever, ever do it.
Channel 7 sent me there.
Did you? And you did it? Like on TV?
I was working. Yeah.
Was it easier though because you were on TV, right?
No, it was still creepy.
Yeah,
I mean, still a little scared.
I would be afraid of saying things I'm not allowed to say on TV while walking through a haunted house while trying to be on TV.
You know, I could see why people like being scared. Like I understand. There's the thrill of like a roller coaster that there's. You can almost get that same feeling. Like the thrill is there, but I don't like from being scared. I like it from being excited.
Do you like this time of year just generally? Like, is this somebody, because I'm very much a fall is elite person. This is a very like social media topic that I think is sometimes divisive. Some people are team fall, some people are team summer. I know the low-hanging fruit here is what your name is. So I would imagine you tend to lean towards the fall.
Everyone asks, were you born in the summer? No, my mom just liked the name. So I just was named Autumn. I really do enjoy every season. The season I like least is probably spring.
Yeah, because it stinks.
It's just we don't
definitely
get
the
a
worst
lot
season.
of spring. It's
No.
like things are starting to come alive, but it's still mushy and snow's still melting.
That's the argument about fall. There's a lot of people who think we don't get a real fall either.
Now,
I don't agree with that statement, by the way.
Here's the thing about this fall.
It's been awesome.
It's been amazing.
Unbelievable.
We haven't had really big windstorms that knock the leaves off of all the trees, so they're still in such a nice, I guess it wouldn't be bloom, but the changing of the colors, all of that's still happening. Yeah. I was in the southern tier over the weekend, and a lot of those trees have lost their leaves, but up here it's prime and it's gorgeous, and it's beautiful outside. Yeah. So I'd have to say the argument is right now I really do like fall.
I think that it's always so cool when you see the shots of the stadium, like the aerial shots from the drones, and you see all of the foliage that's in the background. Like, that's why yesterday was such a prime day. It was perfect weather. It looked great on TV. The colors pop, and I think it just kind of paints Buffalo in such a nice picture of, hey, look how nice it is there. Because in a couple months, we won't have that, right? They'll be showing the 7 feet of snow. They'll be showing the fans shoveling out of the stadium. These last couple games have been, I know the last game was a Monday night game that was almost a month ago, but it has just been so pure and perfect.
I wonder how the announcers did with kind of showcasing what Buffalo was weather-wise yesterday.
You know, I always say that I could win anybody over on Buffalo if you give me a weekend in the summer, but I also feel that way about the last couple weekends. I think the weather has been so good. Like, how could you not be comfortable? I would sign up for that day, and today too. Today is awesome. I mean, I walked to a coffee shop during work. I walked to go pick up lunch during work. It's just like anything I can do to get out of this building, because I know soon enough we are going to have to
want to be in the building.
We're going to have to be in the building. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break on the TV side of things. We will continue the conversation online. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Studio 7. I mean, Debbie says fall is my favorite season. I mean, I'm with you, Debbie. Definitely. I think Ben says Autumn and Beauvais, you guys should try watching The Exorcist. Ben,
I did see that.
There's not a chance in you know what.
It may have been on at some point in my life that I know of what it is. I don't like any scary movies. My niece, she also likes to be scary things. And she one time was The Ring. Do you know what The Ring is?
I know it's a scary movie and probably a book, but I don't know anything about it.
So
otherwise.
She was like the scary girl that crawled out of a TV.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's what she was as the Halloween costume. She had the TV and she crawled out of it. I go, do not crawl towards me, because I'm not going to be responsible for how I react.
My thing would be, I would be afraid that it's just like an involuntary reaction. I would punch somebody. Like, I'm going in, going into a haunted house. Like, somebody jumps out at you. Like, I think my first reaction would be to like throw a right, and I don't want to be hitting somebody for doing their job.
So the rules are they cannot touch you.
Yeah, they can't touch you, but they can get close to me. And if they jump and scare me, then, you know, I might jab, cross, hook, uppercut, and like just instinctively react.
It's what happens.
Yeah.
So, you know, they have to be prepared for it. You know?
Kathy says, it's not scary if you know how special effects are made. Interesting. Yeah, I agree that I wouldn't be scared of the process or any of that. To me, I don't like to be, I guess, startled or surprised. That to me is more scary than just if I was looking at all of these scary things, these scary effects, these scary costumes. That wouldn't bother me because I know, obviously, that I'm in no fear, no harm. But I don't like walking and like something jumping out at me. That to me is freaky. I just don't like the feeling of being startled more than, you know, like I know that nothing's going to happen. I just don't like it.
Yeah, Danielle, we're with you.
I mean, Kathy clearly likes this stuff. She said, I think the scarier the better. I hard pass on that. Cheryl, what's Natalia going to be for Halloween? And Matt, what is your little princess going to be? I know mine. You explained this, but go ahead and explain again.
I did. So Natalia is going to be Coraline, and it's a stop motion film, and she essentially is a little girl that kind of goes to the other side of this house that her parents moved into, and it's kind of a creepy other realm, and she almost gets sucked into being in that realm forever. But she ends up knowing that her real mom and dad are where to be, so she stays as Coraline. So anyway, she's going to be Coraline.
Okay, all right. We will hold off for 1 second because we're coming back on TV. Welcome back, everyone. Studio 7. So that's kind of Autumn was telling us during the commercial about what her daughter Natalia is going to be for Halloween. It kind of sounds like she picked something scary, though, right?
It's I wouldn't say it's a scary movie, but it is a little dark.
There's a little dark. There's a hint of dark.
So Natalia is going to be Coraline. And it's a stop motion film, and it can be a little scary. Or I suppose for their age, yes, it would be scary. It's a little creepy looking. And then me and my husband, we're both going to be the other mother and the other father who have button eyes. That's how you know the difference between the other side.
No, that's creepy. That's creepy.
I know, but that's what she likes.
Yeah.
So I just kind of try to embrace it.
Okay, so we've got the exact opposite end of the spectrum with Ellie. Now, Ellie is 1.5 years old. She is going to be a giraffe. That is what Ellie is going to be. She's going to be a little giraffe because we think it's super fitting that right now she is definitely still trying to learn like how to get her balance, like how to have her feet under her. So it's almost like one of those clips of the giraffe learning how to walk because she tips over a little bit. I got a text from my mother-in-law. She was watching her today that she was running around so much that she's 1.5 years old that she was like sweating because she was exhausted from how much she was running around the park. And I'm like, good, let her keep doing that. I'm going to get home from work at 8:30. She'll be ready to go right to bed. And then I don't have to worry about anything until tomorrow morning. You were telling us a little bit ago, so I know we're still a ways out. Weather could be dicey though for Halloween, or we're still a little too far away?
We're a good week and a half out. So 10 days is always kind of the stretch of actually seeing what's happening. But I started to look at it before we came on because I knew we were probably going to talk about how the weather's looking approaching Halloween. And we're definitely going to be above average leading up to it. What ends up happening is you have this bubble and we're sitting high and dry and it's nice. And when does it break down? When does it look like it's breaking down?
Of course.
On Halloween.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll keep an eye on it.
That was always the one thing that stunk. If you had a cool Halloween costume and then you had to wear the winter coat over top of it, or you had to wear the big hat, or your parents wouldn't let you outside unless you were all dressed up and bundled and ready to go. Somebody also asked, and I know I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. It was a little bit ago. Is it going to snow soon? Like, do we know when this is going to happen?
Yeah,
do we have a little time?
When we finally like just turn the page and there's no more fall. Well, it's not going to be anytime soon. Like our extended outlook, that 14-day outlet, like it's just
we're not anywhere in that realm.
Well above average. And the winter outlooks that have come out, we knew the transition from El Nino to La Nina is happening. How strong it will end up being, we'll continue to watch like as the winter approaches. But typically that will give it in our region a warmer and wetter winter, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll have more snow. There could be rain, there could be warm ups that kind of melt the snow. It could be a good lake effect event even in December, because if it stays warmer, the water's warmer, you get a better reaction there. But we'll continue to watch it.
What do you guys do for Thanksgiving? I mean, Natalia's 5 now. I'm assuming you guys do trick-or-treating. Does it happen the day of? Is it usually on the weekend? Like, what are your plans for Halloween?
For trick-or-treating?
Yeah.
I really love to go to trunk-or-treats.
We did that on Saturday for the first time ever.
So much fun.
It was so adorable. I didn't know that this was like a common thing. I'm glad you said that. Andrea said, she was like, listen, there's a trunk-or-treat at the Grand Island Public Library. It was from 12 to 2. Ellie normally takes her nap at like 12:30, 1 o'clock. So we went there for the first like 45 minutes, 12 to 12:45. It was incredible. It was so cute. I mean, all of these people are here. They're handing out candy. Ellie just walked around and just kind of like picked candy. And it was just so adorable. It was such a cool idea. I didn't know that that was a thing.
I don't know if it's always been a thing or if COVID almost helped kind of create it since you're out in the open and but I really don't know. That it could have been a thing way before then, but I didn't do it until Natalia was in pre-K. And there's so many different ones that you can go to. And I love being able to dress her up more than the once that you typically would do for Halloween, because these outfits are not cheap.
No.
So it's nice to be able to, and it's totally not about the candy at all. It's just getting that experience and seeing them dressed up in what they've wanted to wear. And wait till she gets older and she's able to tell you what she wants to wear.
Well, I thought that it was so cool that there's all these different community organizations and groups that were at the one that we went to on the Grand Island Public Library in the parking lot. And all of these different people had different crafts that they were handing out, different candy that they were handing out. I think it's such a cool way to have that trick-or-treating experience, especially for people who might live in like a really rural area where trick-or-treating isn't something that's super easy to do. Or if you live somewhere where it's just not possible, you can bring your family to an event like this, and you can load up on candy. Peter says NT Tonawanda had a Harbor Halloween Festival, looked really fun, where kids went to various businesses, the boats handing out candy. Yeah, I mean, it was something very similar. There was a lot, and that's what I also thought was cool, that this is clearly very well thought out. It was candy, but there were also like apples, there were pretzels.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of different options for these kids. There was also crafts and like small little toys. So you could make a little afternoon out of it. And then because it was at the library, they had events and crafts inside the library also. So it was a really, really cool event. And I think that that's something now with a daughter that I wasn't aware that is happening. That's a really, really cool thing. There's things out there that you can do that are also entertaining for your kids.
Oh, and there's just so many. Once you've kind of have that brought to the forefront, you'll see all the different things, because there are Halloween parades. I know Hamburg's is going on this weekend. Fisher Bus had a trunk or treat over the weekend. My daughter went to school one for her nieces on Friday, and they just had the best time.
One of the things that I've learned, especially early in the infancy of being a dad, is when you can find things to do and you can get out of the house, you need to cherish those moments, because like sitting at home with the baby is really hard. So when we were like, okay, let's go to this trunk or treat event and get us to nap time, that's exactly what we did. All right, somebody's asking us about candy, so we're going to talk about that during the commercial. Cheryl, what is your favorite candy? Everybody who is watching us right now, please comment what your favorite candy is. And Autumn and I are going to shout out a couple of the candies that we think are good. So Cheryl's question, what is your favorite candy?
How come I don't see her question?
It's from Facebook 444. What is your favorite Halloween candy?
Okay, favorite candy.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
You got a favorite?
I like the way that I describe candy is not chocolate.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I describe candy as chocolate. When I think of Halloween candy, I think of chocolate Halloween candy.
Yeah. I would probably say
somebody just responded with the best candy is.
Kids. I would say Sour Patch Kids would be my favorite.
Okay. There's a lot of good answers here. John says Kit Kats. Danielle says peanut M&Ms. Those are fantastic, Danielle. Robert says Snickers. Karen says Nerds. But Barb and Grace are the first two to get it right, because the answer is Reese's. Reese's peanut butter cups. I think Reese's peanut butter cups are the elite of the elite Halloween candy. I feel like as Ellie was doing her trunk or treat, she's 18 months old. She doesn't fully understand the concept of sticking her hand into a bowl, taking candy out,
taking the right one.
So my wife was very clearly oh, thank you so much, taking the piece of candy. But my wife was taking out stuff that she wanted. She was like, oh yeah, Hershey's cookies and cream. Ellie would love that. And then putting it in the bag and then having it on the way home. Reese's peanut butter cups are elite. They are top tier.
They are good. That would be one that I would go for. I wouldn't do anything with nuts. I don't like Snickers or.
Oh, so those peanut M&Ms are fantastic.
M&Ms. Yeah. No.
Okay. This is something to monitor for football fans. Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf, who left Sunday's win over Atlanta with a knee injury, suffered a grade 1 sprained MCL, considered week to week. So that is a big blow for the Bills' opponent, who they are playing this week. That's their best wide receiver for the Seahawks.
Okay.
We're actually heading out to Seattle this week. So if anybody's been to Seattle, drop some recommendations in the comments. My wife and I are going.
That's gotta be gorgeous.
I've been once, and it legitimately might be my favorite place that I've ever been.
I've never
inside
been
the United
up
States.
Northwest.
Yeah, that's why it's the only place. I shouldn't say it's my favorite place, but it's the only place I've ever been where when I got there, I came back thinking, oh, I could live there. I don't ever feel that way about places. I'm always like, oh, the city's too big. There's too much going on. Seattle to me was always like, oh, whoa, this is beautiful. But I think we're about to come back on TV. So we are going to pause and be right back. Welcome back, everyone. So I am heading to Seattle on Thursday. We are going out there a couple days early. We're going to make a little trip out of it as the Bills get ready to take on the Seahawks on Sunday. Peter is already commenting here. He was watching during the commercial break. Seattle's a very great city. Been there, very beautiful. Stayed at the embassy next to Seattle. It is a great place to live, great place to visit. My question to you is, because this is what I said. I said, it's the only place I've ever been where I left thinking I could live there. I don't want to live there. I want to live in Buffalo.
Yeah.
But I really, really like Seattle. Do you have a favorite place to visit or a favorite place that you go to consistently or regularly?
I like traveling in general. So I love to pretty much go everywhere. Yeah. Now, I'm kind of partial to Georgia in a way because I lived in Macon, Georgia for 2 years.
Where is Macon?
Smack dab in the center of the state.
So how far from like Atlanta?
Atlanta, you're maybe an hour and 20-ish minutes.
Is it close to Augusta?
Or so. That's maybe 45.
Okay.
Maybe another 45 minutes north and east. But it was so nice being there because I was able to experience Hilton Head, and Savannah is probably
sweet.
one of my
Savannah's cool.
favorite towns. Also in Florida, St. Augustine is absolutely gorgeous.
Where is St. Augustine? What part?
It's near Jacksonville-ish, kind of. It's out along the water.
Yeah.
Just absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the oldest settlements.
So Peter says here, go to the gum wall near Pike Place Market. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's a beautiful piece
the gum
of
wall. I've heard of it. Yeah.
So when we went 8 years ago, we went for the last time the Bills played in Seattle was on Monday Night Football. It was in 2016. I was able to go on that trip too. And in the Pike Place Market, that's the place where they do the fish, where they throw the fish. I was 2 for 2. I had 2 fish thrown to me and I caught them both. You have to fill out like this waiver. You have to do all this hoopla, but we went and we did a story. That is their Niagara Falls, right? When you're watching a Bills game and they show the shot of Niagara Falls, that is their shot of Niagara Falls. It's people in the fish market catching the fish. Okay. So they let you try it. But what they don't tell you is these are like $100 pieces of fish that they are throwing to you, and they're frozen. So they're slippery. Right. So one of them I caught perfect. One of them slipped a little bit, but I still made the catch. Didn't touch the ground, didn't even come close to touching the ground. So Seattle was a really, really cool place, and that is very much a spectacle.
And that you just catch with your hands. It's not like a
it's
piece of paper or something. Like, how come I remember, like, I don't know, it's like newspaper or something. They're catching
it's
them.
Like a big piece of fish that's probably like 60 pounds, and that's not true. It's probably like 20 pounds. 60 pounds would be ridiculous. It's probably like a 20-pound salmon that is just frozen solid, and then they take the fin and they flip it in your face, and then they throw it across. So it is cool. That's also where the first Starbucks is, in that market. So that's going to be something we go and check out. And we're also going to go hiking. We're going to go to Mount Rainier National Park.
That will be gorgeous.
Which is going to be just stunning. Now, I know the weather out there, it's crazy. So somebody in our newsroom, Michael Schwartz, has done the hike there. And he said you experience every season as you're continuing the hike. Because when you're at the base, it's very much just like it's going to be fall. It's going to be comfortable. Then you get closer to the top, and then it's freezing. Then you get on the other side of the mountain, and it's really, really hot. And he was like, it's pretty legit. So I'm excited to do that. I was thinking about shooting out to Vancouver. Have you ever been to Vancouver?
I have not. I also want to do that too.
I've heard it's incredible. So we were thinking about going out to Vancouver, but the thing we run into is we're only going to be there for about 3.5 days. We also need to enjoy Seattle. I find myself sometimes when I go to these places trying to go somewhere else because I'm close, and then not actually enjoying the place where we are.
Right.
So I basically decided, okay, we're going to do one day trip, which is going to be Mount Rainier. And then after that, we'll spend the rest of the time actually in Seattle and enjoy ourselves.
It's hard to stay put, but that's what you need to do. When we've gone overseas, it's okay. Well, we're overseas. Let's hit a different town.
Let's go to Paris. Let's go to Ireland. Let's go to the. Oh, yeah, exactly.
And then you don't get to experience just what you're in. You know, you don't get to understand like the breadth of the community. You just got to be there for a little bit.
Where's your favorite place you've ever been? Anywhere in the world.
It's probably Rome.
Oh, beautiful. I love Rome. I mean, I love Italy. I'm Italian.
I
So
mean, my husband's Italian, and that's one of the major reasons we went to Italy.
Yeah.
But there were so many beautiful places in Italy that we went to as well. But Rome was kind of where the plane landed, and it's where we stayed first. So I just think it has such a special place in our heart.
It was also my first Italian experience too.
Yeah. But Pompeii was gorgeous.
Yeah.
The
I could have
Amalfi Coast was beautiful. Tuscany was great. Like
Amalfi Coast
go
was
on and on.
So a lot of Italy, basically. A lot of Italy. You know what's funny? Before we went to Rome, this was years ago, a couple people told me, they're like, you're not going to love Rome. It's so touristy. Fun fact, I'm a tourist, so I am going to love it because that is what I am going to be doing there. I loved Rome. The one that I had that I think was my favorite was Florence, Italy, but that's also where I got COVID and had to spend a week in a hotel room with my mom. So Florence has been a bit tainted on my scale of like, I think a year and a half ago, I would have told you it was my favorite. But now I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to go back to Florence anytime soon.
Well, Paris was beautiful too. But I think in Rome, what was so kind of romantic about, and maybe romantic's not the word, but you walk through these cobblestone streets and you turn a corner and you just know you're looking at something that is thousands of years old.
It's crazy.
And it's just beautiful. So I think that has also helped me like or love and fall in love with history more because you want to know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You know,
it's pretty remarkable. So obviously Italy's great. We had a lot of things we talked about today. Thank you for watching Studio 7. We very much appreciate it. You know what? If you continue to watch Studio 7, maybe we can go back to Europe. We'll take the show on the road. We'll go to Europe. We'll do a
we'll
show
let you
over
know
there.
Everywhere
yeah,
to go.
We'll tell you everywhere you need to go. So thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. We hope you have a great rest of your Monday and a good week. That is Autumn Lewandowski. I am Matt Bove. We will see you guys right back here tomorrow.